Oh boy, this is a lot of work. Oh, and here's a big chunk. Imagine I'll have to use the wedge on this one. Oh. There's got to be a better way. I've been doing this for years like this, and I love exercise, but I got to come up with something else. Let's see what we can find. As it turned out, I did come up with a better solution. About 5 years ago, I picked up this Champion 37-ton splitter, and it had everything I was looking for in a wood splitter. I had, up till that time, a couple of times when a big tree went down, rented a splitter, and sure made life a lot easier. I had split wood by hand up to that point, and actually split wood by hand when I was a kid. So I got pretty good at splitting wood, but it gets old after a while, especially if you're in a time crunch and you got a lot of wood to get split up. So I got this when a couple of big trees went down at a rental property that needed to be cleaned up, and I got that wood split and gave it away to some people that needed the firewood, because I certainly didn't need all of that. And it had three things that I was looking for. And that first thing was reliability. This thing is very well built. It's one of the sturdiest machines that I found out there. It is just solidly constructed, very sturdy wheels. I've had to pull this obviously down the highway, and I put the hitch on. I did add this. Here's a little tip for you. You want one of these jacks to put on your tongue here for the hitch so you can maneuver this thing around. Didn't come with that, so I put that on. And also, one of the things I did, it came loaded with ATF. I got rid of that, and I put some ISO 32 hydraulic oil in instead. And that has made this thing a real workhorse. I waxed it completely before I used it. That's what keeps it in good shape. Clean it up every time. Make sure this track is all cleaned out every time I use it. I blow it off, wash it off, and keep it in shape. And another point on things you want to do to make sure you take care of this is whenever I get done using it, I turn the fuel off and run it till it runs the carburetor dry. That way you don't have fuel sitting in the system, and it helps the machine hold up better. And every time you want to use it, you turn the fuel on and it starts right up, first pull. So I looked at other splitters, and I found this one to be one of the sturdiest I could find. Let's take a look at this thing in action. Just splitting some wood earlier this year when I had to get the wood pile moved. To operate a wood splitter safely, you always want to have your earmuffs, because they're pretty loud, and a good pair of gloves. And you know your gloves are good when you have to have duct tape wrapped around one of the fingers because you've worn through them. This thing has sat now for several months. I don't think I've used it since last fall. I didn't have time this year to split any wood. So let's see if we can even get this thing started. Turn the fuel on. Throttle up. Set the choke. Make sure the switch is on to run. And give it a pull. I don't bother with electric start a lot of the time on this stuff because you don't use it that often. You just go through batteries. Look at that. Started right up. We'll let that warm up a little bit. And then we'll try splitting a couple pieces of wood. The second thing that I looked for in the splitter was versatility, the ability to split things not only in this horizontal position, but one that I could flip up and split wood in the vertical position. And let's take a look at how that works when you're working on big chunks of wood. And that brings up the last item of importance to me, item number 3. I wanted something that was powerful. You could see what I went through trying to split some of those big chunks there at that rental property 5 years ago when I got this. And I'm telling you, right now some people said, well, why didn't you just get a regular 25-ton splitter? They're a little faster, and I guess they do operate a little faster than a 37-ton. But when you get into some big stuff, and we got some big oak out here, and once in a while I have to tangle with that, you want that power. And I guess to play off from another saying that you hear quite often, I'd rather have the power and not need it than suddenly find myself needing the extra power and not having it. So those are the 3 things you need to consider when you're looking at a wood splitter. You need to look at the reliability of it, the versatility of the unit, and the power of the unit to get the job done. So I hope this short video gave you some insight into what to look for with a wood splitter, and possibly you want to check this one out. I think there are other good ones on the market too. I just happened to go with this one. If you enjoyed this video, please click like and consider subscribing, and please leave comments what you thought of the video and anything else you'd like to see me cover in the future. So until next time, enjoy your projects and take care.